But let's focus on another company, Kaynes Technology. They actually reported a good quarterly performance, healthy margin expansion as well, and strong order book. They've also completed an acquisition to expand in North America. To discuss this and more, we have Mr. Jairam Sampath, the whole-time director, as well as the chief financial officer at Kaynes Technology. Hi, sir. Morning, and good to see you in as always. Well, the numbers look good, order book is good, but it seems valuations have got a little bit stretched after the 30% run we have seen in the last few months itself. And that's why I'm reading a few notes today. There are a couple of downgrades on the stock. That's from the market perspective. But let's get a couple of numbers out of the way. On this sort of a base that you've delivered for the past year, what kind of a revenue growth you're looking at, what kind of margin expansion, and also export contribution, you're expecting it to go up, I think, from high single digit to mid-teens. Tell us more.
Sure. So as far as the guidance for this year is concerned, FY26, the existing business, which is excluding some of the acquisitions, will grow at about 60%. So we get about 4,350 crores of business we estimate for this year. And on top of it, we have acquired a company called August Electronics, and shortly we'll be consolidating that company's results into us. So we expect about 6 months worth of consolidation. So that would add about another 175 crores. So roughly, total what we are looking at is about 4,525 kind of number. Based on our order book and kind of businesses that we plan to execute, there will be an expansion in margin by about 50 basis points. So maybe we get to about 15.6% kind of an EBITDA number for FY26. As far as exports is concerned, FY26, you can see when we say exports, we're talking about exports out of Indian facilities. So it will go a tad increased because we will have some US major company orders getting executed. We've got a significant amount of business that has come in. So we will start doing additionally about 200, 300 crores of exports. So this is US-based as well as Europe-based companies that are in both aerospace and in automotive area. So you can see an uptick on the percentage of exports too by 26. And of course, at the end of the year, I think our businesses in OSAT and PCB is also going to fire up. And so they're also export-oriented businesses mostly.
Okay, all right. So from OSAT as well as PCB project, what kind of revenue contribution will we see in FY26? I think it comes towards the later part of it. And I think majority of it will come in FY27. So for both these two businesses, what kind of revenue contribution we'll see in 26 and 27? And also your CapEx plan is 1,000 crores, right? Break it up for us, EMS, OSAT as well as PCB.
Sure. So I'll answer the second question. Firstly, whatever money we raised during last QIP would suffice for managing the CapEx spend for both OSAT as well as PCB. As far as the EMS business is concerned, about 200 to 300 crores of CapEx will be required every year to cater to the growth, which we expect it to be excess of 50%. And that would entail some kind of investments in the factory infrastructure and all that. Now, as far as the OSAT and PC board business are concerned, being fourth quarter, right now the factories are under, let's say, construction. And while we have LOIs from customers and so on, and a lot of strong customer pull available right now. So once the factory is ready, then there is a process of approvals. So in the fourth quarter, we don't expect huge amount of revenues, maybe 50 to 100 crores kind of revenue you can expect from each of these businesses at the end of the year. But we would maintain our guidance based on whatever existing businesses that we already have. That's EMS and one more acquisition that we have done in North America so far. So you can see a full-fledged year for these two businesses in FY27. Because by September, probably the factories will be ready. Then there is a customer approval process, which probably will happen by December. So January, February, March is the time frame, and we'll do some little business in these areas. So it's too early to say exactly how much, but yeah, it won't be a very huge number, but at least it will cover all the major customers, like a couple of customers in OSAT, and then in PC board there are.
Jairam, if I can come in, morning, Prashant here. So for FY27, could you give us a sense of what could revenues be from these two businesses, OSAT and PCB?
Yeah, OSAT and PCB, probably both of them put together will be 1,000 crores plus kind of business. Maybe earlier we were thinking that FY28 we would get about 1,500 crores from these businesses. Maybe we'll do that in FY27 itself.
Okay, that's FY27,
Yeah.
which is between 1,000 and 1,500 crores. And what margins here?
Okay, so right now all drawing board margins right now, because we have to yet establish costs and all that, but they'll be more than our current consolidated margin. They'll be in 20s. EBITDA margins will be in 20s. Yeah.
And there are no changes per se, Jairam, because of all the, there is so much movement happening, right? With regards to news flow, make here, make there, don't make here. I'm talking about what the news flow with the US, and these are all considered. I mean, of course, we are talking about packaging, etc. for now, but also building the ecosystem as the first step. There's no. Are there anything you're hearing from clients in that sense, or is it a fluid situation?
No, this is something that we had anticipated. That's how we acquired this Canadian business of August Electronics. I think going forward, you will have more and more of what I call the insularity in manufacturing. Whatever best they can do within their country, they would, again, I think, rededicate themselves toward developing a manufacturing base so that no country has strategic importance in terms of their entire economic value chain. So we've been talking about our geography footprint increasing to North America, Europe, and of course, at some point in time in future into South Asia too. So this has not come as a surprise to us. We also know that the business's growth vectors cannot be based on protection by the government. Of course, we do use all the different types of benefits that government gives us in terms of capital subsidy, MPLI, etc. But at some point in time, that will be available to most companies in the world, right? So we do understand that, and so we are taking steps to make sure that we give technology as the key differentiator. Since we are investing now, so we can always choose to invest the high-tech infrastructure. And also we look at more value-adding propositions like ODM and all this, our own design and so on.
Mr. Sampath, just very quickly, so you gave us a sense of FY27. That's where PCB and OSAT kick in, and you get in about 1,500 crores of revenue from those businesses.
Yes.
Now, specifically for FY26, the current year that we're in, you're guiding for a 60% growth on the top line and an improvement, about a 50 basis points improvement in margin.
Correct.
I just want to understand how that will come about. And what's happening with the base business, with the EMS business itself. Your order book is at about 6,600 crores as of the end of the year, the year that just closed. Just give us a sense on the base business and the projections that you've put out.
True. So the 6,600 crores of order book represents orders for 5 years time frame from today, right? There are orders in our books beyond 5 years too, which we don't consider for projections of these order books. Having said that, typically the next 12 months would represent about 60 to 70% of this order book. And so that means that for the coming year also, some orders will come in because many customers do not give you orders beyond 12 months. So they would give it as and when. So 6 months to 10 years is the time frame in which different customers give us orders. So from the order book perspective, we can always compute what is the kind of EBITDA that we can make, assuming other things are being equal. So that's what tells us that this year, because of course, we can't tell you sector-wise, but broadly the uptick is in industrial and in aerospace and in railways and in IT, etc. So these sectors are typically pushing this entire margin profile up a little bit. And also, I think this year some more operating leverage will kick in. Last year, we kind of deleveraged because we are spending more money than we ought to. And this year, we will probably utilize those, and even asset utilizations will improve. So we are expecting at least 50 basis point expansion in our margins at EBITDA level.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sampath, thank you very much. Lots of details there. Good luck with your plans.
Thank you.
We look forward to the next call soon.